Hey, welcome back to All That to Say.
Yeah. Here we are, back at it.
Been a few weeks.
We had to take a little break,
Yeah, just for
a little hiatus,
a little life.
a little life kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's happening with you, Nick? Any big new announcements? Anything that needs to be thrown out there?
Well, I guess they can make it podcast official.
Can we?
I don't know. I haven't talked to my wife about this, but
Then maybe we shouldn't. Yikes.
well, stay tuned for
All right,
podcast
we'll save that for later.
for maybe another.
I've got something. I want to. So I heard someone talking about something the other day, and I just wrote down all these names
Okay.
because I'm like, one, I just didn't realize there was so many different things.
Okay.
Secondly, is that the definition, or not the definition, the explanation behind each one was like very deep.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm going to go through these and.
Am I trying to guess what it is?
No, you'll guess right away.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't guess right away, I will be very surprised.
Okay.
Actually, I'll be disappointed.
Oh.
Because I feel like this is a topic that you know about, or you know a little bit about anyway. Like it's a thing.
Okay.
So, Samurai Champloo,
Okay. I know exactly where we're at.
Cowboy Bebop,
Okay.
Naruto.
You're saying all these so wrong.
Am I?
Yeah.
Of course I am, and that's why we're doing this. We'll come back to these. One Piece,
Okay.
Fairy Tale,
Yep.
which I wrote down. Very gory and at least 1,000 episodes or something like that.
Very gory.
That's what this person said. Okay. All right. We'll come back. AOT.
Interesting. Attack on Titan.
Is that what that is?
That's
Okay.
Attack on
Gore and dense, lots of layers.
Gore and dense.
Promised Neverland.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, but
God of High School.
never seen that one.
Classroom of the Elite.
Okay.
JJK.
JJK. Jujutsu Kaisen.
I knew it. See,
Is that?
I don't know.
You just wrote JJK.
That's because that's what they said. They just said JJK.
Were
and
you
they
listening to me talk about this to somebody else?
No.
Was this Caleb?
No,
talking
this was nobody in my circle. This
Oh.
is actually something completely different. This was something, yeah. Fruits basket,
Yeah.
Mushi Shi, What the heck?
Mushishi.
Okay, that's my list. What is it?
It's anime.
Yes. What the heck? All right, tell me about the names. Do we need to go back through them? Do I need to?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I can give you name
All right,
some of them. I don't know all of these.
So did I say samurai correctly? Samurai Champloo?
Champloo.
I didn't catch the N on the. Is there an N
I think so.
as in Nancy on the end of that?
I think so. Champloo.
See, the way they were saying it, I just kept thinking it said Champloo.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't have a
I've
clue.
never seen it.
Okay, but you know about it.
It's a older anime. I think it came out in the 90s.
Okay.
So
I
it's
mean, listen,
older.
these guys were like anime geeks,
Yeah.
bar none.
Yeah. I know a little bit about it.
So where this actually came from is my Clash of Clans that I play,
Okay.
right? So I'm in a clan that has people from all around the world, and we're like top 5 of the United States or something. I don't know anymore where we stand on it, but there were a couple of young guys in there talking, and they were just geeking up, talking to each other about these different things.
About anime.
So I was like, dude, I'm totally writing these names down.
Yeah.
And then when Nick and I get together, all right, so tell me about Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is also an old one, 90s. It's actually a futuristic space one.
See, I might be interested in that one.
And it's very short, actually. It's I want to say it's like one season, so maybe like 20 episodes.
So it wasn't that great, didn't make the cut.
It's like, if I remember correctly, and if I'm remembering the right one, it's a classic anime.
Okay.
But I don't know if the source material was very long.
All right. So apparently I must have The Naruto, is that
Naruto.
Naruto?
Naruto.
See, so when you
This is
say
my
that,
favorite anime.
okay, and I knew it would be
Yeah.
because I know that when we play
Fortnite.
Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
that's your skin.
It's one of my go-to skins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't say it Naruto because I would have assumed that would have been two R's, like Naruto.
I think there's a, what is it called?
I don't know. Is there a mark above it?
Yeah.
One of those things?
One of those, whatever they're called.
Okay. What about that one?
Naruto is first of all, it starts with, it's just so much action. It's about ninjas.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Aren't they all about ninjas?
What?
Isn't anime all about ninjas?
No. There's like other things, like slice of life and different superpowers and superhero things. But this is about ninja.
Slice of life is it one of them, or it's a characteristic?
That's like slice of life is like a genre where it's just like normal everyday
Okay.
happenings.
Got it. Okay. So, but you love this one.
This one's so good because it starts with the kid, the main character Naruto, as like a 12-year-old, and it goes through, like, it starts from the start. He's like 12, and it goes through until he's 17.
Okay.
5 years.
5 years of his life.
Okay. Like as like you watch him grow from like this punk kid,
okay,
to like this, like the top ninja of his, like, of the
so
world.
that's the goal, is for him to become this top ninja.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but
I mean,
like
I don't mean it that way. That's it. But I mean, like
that's
that's the thing.
But
okay.
it's like it's very long. I think so it's actually broken into 3 series. It's Naruto, which is I think 6 seasons, 5 or 6 seasons, which is like 50 to 60 episodes per season.
Okay.
And then it goes Naruto Shippuden, which is like there's this 2-year gap where he goes away and trains.
Okay.
And then he comes back, and when he comes back from training, he's just beefed up, and
okay.
And then that goes for like 2 years.
Got it.
And it's like, I think there's like 13 seasons or something like that with like 50
okay.
episodes.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I think the whole thing is like over 1,000 episodes for sure. Because I think Naruto is 500 some episodes, and Shippuden's like, it might be closer to 1,500 episodes as a total. But it's just a really great, you like, the thing about it is you get to see like such character development because you watch this person from 12 to 17, and then like towards the end of the series, it's actually like skips, time jumps, and like goes to him getting married in like his 20s.
Gotcha.
And like, spoiler
interesting.
alert,
don't do a spoiler alert on here.
but
We'll get sued.
But you know, you you skip and you like go forward even more, and then actually they just started a new series about his son. Set like
Naruto Jr.
No, Boruto.
Oh, okay. What's that name mean?
I have no clue.
Do we know what Naruto means?
It's a little fish thing. I don't know.
It's Asian culture.
It's the spiral, like, those like typical like spiral things you see in like ramen. You see them on the packages with like
ramen
like
noodles.
Yeah,
dude. Do you know the last time I had ramen noodles?
Okay, but you know that like the little fish, the fish nugget thing. I did not mean
it. Doesn't even. I don't even have a clue. I honestly don't have a clue.
There's like a little fish nugget in ramen, and it's got like a spiral on it.
Like on the packaging.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like
and
in it.
In it, they come like they're in the, but it's like a fish nugget thing. That's what
Wait, there's fish nuggets in ramen?
Some, like authentic ramen.
What?
Have you never had authentic ramen?
Apparently not.
Yeah, well.
What? I just have had the kind that's like 3,000 milligrams of sodium.
Yeah, well, they're all 3,000 milligrams of sodium.
It's ridiculous.
But the authentic
fish
stuff
nuggets.
Like,
what kind of fish?
I don't know. I don't make it. I just eat it sometimes.
I had no clue. Listen, I have
like pork. You can get pork or beef in the.
I know. I think I've just had the one. I don't know that I've ever had anything that had any kind of anything other than noodles.
Yeah, you're eating like, you're talking about like ramen noodles from the store, like 60
the
cents. Now I'm talking about like bowls of real ramen, which is like a thing.
So.
Anyways, I think it's like, I think those fish nuggets are called Naruto, and
really, that's so interesting. That's crazy. So One Piece.
One Piece is about pirates.
See, I remember him saying that.
Superpowered pirates.
I remember him saying that, and I was like, I think I could be interested in that one.
Yeah, I really loved One Piece when I was like starting to get into it. But the problem is they are not even half. I think they might have just hit the halfway point, and they're at like over 1,000 episodes.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculously long. It's just
So
crazy
is
long.
this one person long storyline,
Yeah,
or is this culture?
It's like his crew. Like it's him like Luffy, the main character. His name Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy,
Gosh.
King of the Pirates.
What kind of names, man?
Dude, I don't know.
Great.
I'm just. But anyways, Luffy.
Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy.
You know what? You're helping me. If I ever see that in Fortnite, someone's name, I'm going to be like, all right, I know what that connection point is.
Yeah.
Monkey D. Luffy?
Yeah, Monkey D. Luffy is his
Okay.
name. And it's about him wanting to become the king of the pirates and like find this treasure that was like the former king of the pirates hid, and like he builds his crew and like builds a ship and
I think I could be in there. I think I could get into that one.
and they like go all these places and like it's really cool because there's like these fruit that give them special powers. Like if you eat this fruit, you lose the ability to swim, which is like that destroys you as a pirate, quote unquote. But also you gain like these special abilities. Like so
it's like real life. Like sometimes you're going to give up one thing to be great in something else.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
sure.
I don't know.
But like
I'm just trying to find the connection here.
He eats this fruit called the gum fruit, which makes him really like think Stretch Armstrong, like really stretchy, able to like stretch, and so that's his superpower.
Got it. Okay. All right.
It's really funny.
Fairy tale.
Fairy tale is also super great.
Storyline.
Gosh, that one's a hard one. I don't know that I can tell you the storyline for it.
Okay, do you see it as gory? As gore?
No, that's why I laughed at because I was like, gory?
That was the word that came along with it. Gore. And over 1,000 episodes.
Attack on Titan.
Okay, well we're not there yet.
Gory.
We're going to get there.
But
that's next. So you can't tell me the storyline on that one.
No, because it's such it's like a conglomeration of short stories about like it's about a guild of wizards.
Okay. Interesting.
They like come together and like it's about these. It's like got some main characters, but like they go through like life together, and like you find out like their backstories, and like then they have all these side stories about their life, like and so
it has a lot of room because of all of the characters.
A lot of characters, and then like at one point they like do a time jump, and like all the characters that were young are now like
older,
not
young.
And, so it's like there's some time jump stuff going on and like magic obviously, but yeah, it's an interesting one.
Okay, tell me about Attack on Titans. And you do agree that one has more gore?
Oh yeah, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, this guy labeled it as dense and lots of layers. Dense, not dense like dense, but like dense, not dense in your brain, but more dense of like very thick, very like.
Oh yeah.
Lots and lots.
It's very political.
Okay.
Very, like you're trying to figure out what's going on because like the whole like you just don't understand. You don't know what's going on for the whole thing.
I probably wouldn't know what was going on for any of it.
I mean, like seriously, you like go, like throughout the series. Like I watched everything, but the last season we started the last season. We haven't finished it. But
so when you say political, like American political,
no, political
Asian political,
political in the show.
Okay.
Like it's about like multiple races of people that hate a different race. Of people.
Okay.
And these people have they have the ability to turn into what's called titans, which are like these monstrous forms. So they're hated because of that. Even though they can't control it.
Are they? I mean, when they turn into a monster, are they good or are they inherently bad?
They're inherently bad, but they can't control the fact that they can't control the fact that they turn into the monsters. Is what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Their turning into monsters is triggered by like a blood, like something in their DNA.
But
and it's triggered by like outside circumstances,
like stress or like some like the Hulk,
an injection of like a serum that triggers it, or
Oh,
like
okay.
there's other Titans that can trigger that ability to happen in them.
Not like the Hulk. Like when he
Not
gets
like
not
like the
like
Hulk.
that. It's
No.
not like emotion
No, it's not
driven.
like, oh, I got mad and I turned into a Titan. No, it's
Okay.
like I got injected with something that turned me into a Titan, or you are a Titan that like has the ability to call out my Titan in me.
Interesting.
So
Okay, I find that a little fascinating.
it's very good. The first few seasons were very good. As it went on, it started to get very political
Okay.
in the storyline.
Okay.
Because the first few seasons, it's like they're in they're in a walled city that's got like all of humanity is what they think.
Okay.
Well, you come to find out they're on an island, and they're like the last remnant of this people that had gone away to separate themselves, to protect themselves from the rest of the world.
Okay.
And like outside of the island, that race of people is treated like garbage
Okay.
because of their Titan abilities.
Got it.
So
Okay. Well, when you made the statement of like, as a Titan, I can kind of call out your Titanism. Like
there's a couple Titans that have that ability. Like there's two, I think.
I feel like that's almost a real life situation where like, sometimes people call things like the bad out of other people, like when they're just being whatever, like little boys when they're being mischievous, right? They're all about like somehow they can draw the mischievousness out of everybody around them often. So it's interesting. All right, next is Promised Neverland.
I don't know much about this one.
Okay, but you know it exists.
I know all of these exist.
Okay.
I have not watched more than half of these.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real honest. Promised Neverland was a struggle because it was based around little kids in an orphanage.
Okay.
And the premise is that they're getting eaten.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I don't know.
That's not Promised Neverland.
Yeah, the Promised Neverland is them trying to escape.
Oh.
They're trying to escape.
Is the Neverland is that a tie to like Peter Pan?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, because that's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
So, but it's more of an Asian culture connection to that, right?
Probably.
I mean, is it safe to say all of these have an Asian culture to them? I mean, is anime an Asian culture thing?
I'm not completely.
No.
I mean, I think it is like in definition. I think probably is Japanese.
Japanese.
Based off Japanese manga, but
what's manga?
Manga's like the comic books.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yep.
the comic books.
I got you. So what we call comic books, they would call manga.
Kind of.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
They're different.
Okay, it's very different.
Very thick.
Okay. So you didn't watch Promise, or you didn't get into
we watched
it.
part of it, but it
You
was
didn't-
like I
yeah.
couldn't get into it because
Right.
they're eating kids.
Yeah, well, that's okay. God of High School.
Never seen it.
That one was weird. When he said the title, I was just like, that didn't even make
it's
sense.
about if I remember right. God, high
I
school.
mean,
It's
sounds like it would be a teenager in school who
yeah,
was
but
like,
it's about a minor deity who is going to high school.
oh, minor deity. Okay.
Yeah, like if you think about like Norse gods or whatever.
How about like
Like it would be like if Loki went to high school.
I was
or
gonna say
something like
Loki or his brother
Thor.
Thor. Thank you. I just was watching
Not
Loki
that they're
a minute
minor
ago.
deities, but like it would
Not
be
in
like,
real life, but in Marvel
like,
they
in
are.
Marvel, they would be deities.
They are
And
considered that, absolutely. All right. So Classroom of the Elite.
I've never seen this one either. Oh,
But
wait,
you've heard
is
it.
that-
You've heard of it, you have not seen it.
I think I have seen this one. No, that's not. No, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. And what was the JJK?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay. Jujutsu Kaisen. Have
I
you watched
don't know. It's on my watch list.
it? It's
to
on.
watch.
It's to watch. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's so many ones that you missed that are like the big ones
Dude,
right now.
dude, this is just the list that
And
they
I'm
had
like-
in this thing.
I'm like so surprised that they weren't talking about the big ones.
This is the ones that they loved.
Yeah.
What's this Fruits Basket? Because that's the dumbest name ever.
Yeah, Fruit Basket's terrible. It's a cooking one with a lot of. I've never watched it.
Okay.
Because it's very sexualized.
Of course.
It's a cooking. It's like a cooking like they're. I don't know how to explain it. Like
What
it's like
kind of things do they cook?
chef. It's like a chef competition show.
Interesting.
Anime, like
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
but like
And then my last one was the Mushi Shi.
I watched a couple episodes of this and I don't know what it was really about.
Okay.
It I do know what it was about. It's like about this what I've gathered from it was like this main character who like helps lost souls pass on. Or like
Really?
trapped souls pass on.
Okay. Interesting. That doesn't sound interesting at all.
No, but
What
like
is the draw to anime?
I don't know. It's just fun.
How do
Some of
people
it's
have
fun.
time to watch all of this?
Oh, I don't know. Listen. It took us like we've been married for 4 years, and it took us like probably 2 years to get through all of Naruto, and we skipped every filler episode.
Why were there what were the filler episodes for?
Like if there's like short, like they might have like a little arc where like somebody goes off on a little side mission that doesn't have anything to do with the main story.
Gotcha.
It's not canon,
Okay.
but it's like filler for like when the writer was writing the actual main story, they wrote filler.
They wrote something.
And they did
Because the
episodes.
writer needed a vacation.
Or the writer was like, so what's crazy is like each book of manga, like a lot of times they'll have 3 episodes in them.
Okay.
3 episodes worth of 3 episodes of anime in them, 2 to 3. And so like if you think about it, like, and sometimes it's more, they'll just expound on it. But a lot of times, like each book they write, which is like normally 200 to 300 pages, is 2 episodes of a show.
Gotcha.
So even if you let them get to 10 or 15 books out, it's only 30 episodes of a show.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the whole storyline still to go. So
Got it. I got it. So you said I missed some of the big ones.
yeah, well, I mean, like I guess they say the big ones, like the ones that are super popular right now, which I think Jujutsu Kaisen is probably pretty popular right now.
Why is it? What made it like rise to the top for being popular?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So you're just waiting.
I haven't watched it yet. We're in the middle of Fairy Tail.
So you're gonna finish that one, get to the end, and then jump.
Yeah, Fairy Tail's over, so I figure we can finish it.
Okay.
But Jujutsu Kaisen's probably pretty big. Demon Slayer.
I do kind of remember something being said about that.
Demon Slayer is
That name.
a very samurai inspired basis of the story is like this the main character, his family gets slaughtered by a demon,
Okay.
and
So they're going after
his sister gets turned into a demon.
Wow.
So
okay.
they seal up the demon inside of her to try to like stop her from changing completely into a demon.
Okay.
And he's searching for a cure to save her. In the meantime, he joins this demon slaying corp to help find a way to save his sister.
Got it. Okay.
And so it's all about him killing all these demons and
Right. In order to find a cure
for his sister.
to not slay
To
the
not have to kill his
sister,
sister.
but to slay the demon in the sister.
Mhm.
Huh. I got lots of thoughts about that. All right, give me some. Is there anything else? Any others?
My Hero Academia.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't write that down, but I remember seeing that name kind of in the thread.
Yeah, My Hero.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Huge right now.
What makes it huge?
It's
Why are
just
people
everything you want out of a show.
Okay.
It's got the
Tell me.
romance. It's got
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just got it's got a lot of tension. It's got a lot of tension in it. I feel like of like. Basically, at the start of the show is you have this main character that's powerless.
Okay.
In a society where 98% of humans are born with a superpower.
I mean, we're all born with a superpower.
So he's like powerless.
Okay.
Compared to everybody else, and he wants to be the world's greatest hero. That was
Okay.
his dream, and you don't develop what they call a quirk until like you're age 8.
Okay.
So at age 8, they're like, you haven't developed a quirk, you're not going to.
Oh.
So
he's
like
been
destroyed.
given. He's like
destroyed, but he still wants to be. So he's like maybe I'm just a late bloomer, you know. And so he's like starts making all these notes and like is like a studious person of like trying to become the top hero, and then he meets the number one hero in the world, whose name is All Might.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All Might. And you learn like that All Might's power, like from later in the show, you learn All Might's power is actually passed down. Like a couple episodes in, you learn his power is passed down. It's actually called All for One.
Okay.
And so, or One for All. One, I don't remember. All for One, One for All.
Okay.
Anyways, it's passed down genetic. Like you can, all he has to do is like take some of his DNA, and it's willingly given. So then he can take, and so he takes that
There's
because
so much to these.
there is, but he takes some of his DNA and gives it to this kid because what you learn later in the show is that he was actually mortally wounded, and so he cannot continue being the number one hero. He's like on a downward spiral.
Right.
And so he needs somebody to replace him.
Okay.
So he's looking for that.
Here's the tension.
He's looking for that, and he gives the kid the DNA, so he inherits his power, but his body can't adjust to that power, like
Right away.
So it's like about him training and becoming more powerful, and like slowly becoming like this number one hero, and like under the guidance of the former number one hero, and how like that superhero society, which was built around this guy, slowly starts to just, as soon as he he has a fight with this big bad, the big bad of the show, one of the big bads of the show, and that ends his career.
Okay.
Basically, I mean, he's like, I can't be the hero anymore, and he's like, this is a lot of spoilers for the show.
I mean, if you haven't started watching it by now, you're probably behind.
You're 5 seasons behind, 5 or 6.
Well,
seasons.
not only that, but how much time do you have in your day?
That's fair. But like it's about this. So and then, but it's about the society built around that idolizes these heroes.
Sounds like us.
And it slowly starts crumbling because the heroes can't protect them always.
Man, this is good.
So,
I mean, that sounds like life. So, so obviously I brought this topic up because I have no clue about it, nor am I really interested. I mean, I'm not interested. I think there's a lot of misunderstandings for a lot of like maybe older people like myself.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first kind of like, I don't want to say it that way. How do I want to say? I feel like that when I first kind of heard people talking about anime and watching it, I was like, did it just become popular because Pokemon got really popular and therefore it opened up the door?
Yeah, Pokemon is a big one that people don't like. I don't think people give credit to.
This is why that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
But like, you think about Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Pretty much everybody knows Dragon Ball Z.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z is huge.
Right.
It's still going, like one of the longest running animes.
Right.
They've rebooted it and done spin-offs and, been going since like the original started in like 86.
Right. Okay.
Dragon Ball started in 86. And
probably didn't hit America until the 90s though. Right?
Probably not.
Because I remember in the 90s kind of Dragon Ball Z kind of becoming a thing. Because I can remember kids really being into it.
Yeah.
But like I didn't, it was a little it was not underneath. It was behind me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything that I connected with.
Yeah. So
right.
I grew up in the 90s.
Right.
Like
so
90s, 2000s. So
right.
it was like when Dragon Ball Z was like
very big.
Very big.
Yep.
So it was like one of the first ones that I watched and didn't even know it was an anime. Well, then you're like, it's just a connection. Like
right.
I think for people.
It's become a part of our culture. Would you say it's become a part of our culture?
I think there are more people that watch anime than you think. And I think there are more people that that don't think about what they're watching as anime, but it is.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
In my opinion. They classify, I mean, some of the times, like, they classify, I think there's also, like, the classification of, like, American anime versus, like, Japanese anime.
Okay. So anime is a Japanese thing. It's not an Asian thing.
Yeah,
it's
Japanese.
It's Japanese. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, but I say that, but, like, France has its own like series of anime.
Okay. I mean, do the Chinese have? Do the
Probably.
Koreans have?
Probably. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody has their own brand of anime. I think anime is the style of animation and where they get the inspiration from.
Okay.
Which is the graphic novels. I think is what defines them as anime.
Okay. What is that? The big eyes. I mean, what do you mean defining feature or the
animation style?
Yeah.
It's
I think when I hear the word anime, all I think about is characters with big eyes,
yeah,
small nose, and very Asian-ish culture.
I mean, yeah, but that's not. There's a lot of Asian culture in anime, but there's also like you have these other animes that are. There's an anime called K. I think it's called K. I think it's I can't remember what it's.
You gonna look it up?
I am gonna look it up.
Okay.
Because,
we don't want to misrepresent. So my whole thing as you're doing that, part of my point behind this is that like I see it all around me, and I think that because I don't really understand it, I'm scoffing. I'm a scoffer. I'm like I'm not a normal scoffer. I'm not a pretty pessimistic, negative person, but I'm also like sometimes I'm. So in my devotion time, like we have these like confessions. I have this like like how did I not act like Jesus in the last 24 hours, and like me seeing someone wearing a shirt and me going, dude, just grow up, but not recognizing that like this is like a culture in its own that like is not just a bunch of 12-year-olds. Not like it takes you beyond that.
Yeah.
Right? Is that fair to say? And so as I'm listening, in my scroll, right, because we're on this group of people that I'm with, right, we're on Discord, and I'm watching them, just going on, and they're just geeking out about it. And I'm like, well, I have no clue. But, when they're talking about storylines, they're talking about like depth, they're talking about like all these layers.
There's a lot of this.
And so I was like, okay, I'm missing something.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought it up today, because I want to clear the air.
There's a lot of depth, and there's a lot of like, lesson like things that I mean, I have a tattoo, so I didn't even talk about like Full Metal Alchemist. So my tattoo.
That one right there.
Here.
Okay.
It actually comes from an anime.
If you can't see, it's on his left arm. If you can see,
it's right here.
It's right there.
But
if you're driving, don't look at the screen right now. Wait.
Just go back.
So what is that? What is it called?
It's an Ouroboros.
I know, but which one? You said full.
It's from Full Metal Alchemist.
Not Full Metal Jacket.
Not Full Metal Jacket, but Full Metal Alchemist. But the symbol is on creatures that were created by someone else giving up their life.
Okay. Interesting.
So people that had this branding on it was where they were created because someone else sacrificed their life.
Dang. Let's talk about Jesus on that one.
Right.
Yeah. But so correlation between the two, right? You've got, as a follower of Jesus, do you feel like that they're always pointing to a higher power, but because of they wouldn't confess to be Christians, right? I mean, like if you're Japanese, more often than not, isn't Buddhism a big thing?
Yeah.
For them?
Buddhism, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Buddhism and
I don't think it's Hinduism.
I think it's Buddhism.
I think it's Buddhism.
I mean, I think that like
someone's going to put in the comments of how ignorant we are that we just really butchered that.
Hinduism.
No, not even that. Just like there's some other prevalent thing that we're missing here.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think that like, I think if you're looking for Jesus, you can find Jesus in anything.
I agree with that.
You can find things about Jesus in everything.
Okay.
Because Jesus is built into who we are.
Totally agree.
And anything that has to do with like any culture that, like, anime as a whole I don't know how to say this really, but
You
anime
just
as a
say
whole,
it.
there are tons of things in there that point to Jesus. Sure, there are tons of things that are outlandish and
Mm-hmm.
childish and perverse and things like that. There are things that to be avoided.
That's
There's
everywhere.
series to be avoided.
That's everywhere.
Certain shows and things. And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, we shouldn't watch that. But there are shows that you watch and you have these moments where you're like, oh, that was deep. Like that was wow. Like I can't believe like that was in a show.
I mean,
like
I was just
this.
watching Loki, and there was like several moments in it. I was like, dude, that would totally preach.
Yeah. Well, like yeah. I mean, I'm just like thinking about that. Like, so my tattoo, like
Right.
I just said, shared with that. Like,
Does anybody ever see that tattoo and go, dude, I know what that is?
yeah, all the time.
Really?
That's the
Interesting.
They say, oh, is that from Full Metal? Yeah, that's from Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah.
So do people call that FMA or just Full Metal?
A lot of times people say Full Metal.
Full Metal.
Full Metal Alchemist.
So people know now. I mean, if I said, if my bracket, if you said Full Metal, they're going to go Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah. Full Metal Panic.
That's another one?
Yeah, it's another anime.
Interesting.
There's Full Metal Panic.
Okay.
There's so many.
Is Full Metal
Like they have streaming sites dedicated to anime. Crunchyroll and Funimation. I guess Funimation's gone now.
did you say Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll absorbed Funimation, so
Interesting.
but Crunchyroll is like a streaming platform that just has anime on it. I mean, hundreds of different shows.
It's like a form of egg roll.
Yeah. Their symbol is the little squirrel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ubisoft.
Oh, got it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like how close to Ubisoft?
I mean,
Pretty similar. If
Different
I saw both
colors.
of them, I wouldn't be confused.
It's different colors. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, I'm sure that it is.
There's got to be some kind of difference.
Yeah, well, unless they're like the same corporate or something like that.
What
So
I was trying to explain about anime though is that there's so many, like every nation has their own animes. Like we have like, which people don't like. It's on the fence. The Avatar: The Last Airbender is an
okay,
anime.
yes,
Um,
okay. I forgot about that one,
it's on
but
the
I've watched
fence,
it a few
but-
times, and I actually like that one.
but
I
it's
actually liked it.
It's a American
Is that what it is?
written.
Okay, that
Um,
probably explains it. That and isn't he's the four elements, right?
Yeah, that's Four Elements.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of it, but I've seen some of it.
Trying to.
Does the arrow on his head glow or something like that?
Yeah.
Light up.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
Well, I don't know a lot about these, but
No, I mean, but you don't have to know everything.
well, I'm curious. I mean, that's why I wanted to like understand. I wanted you to unpack these because I think as they were unpacking all the names, I was like, okay, so there's way more to this than just like two or three,
There are.
and there's a whole lot of depth to them. And it seems like they're like everything else in the world. Did you
Some that
find
are
it?
good, some that are bad.
Yeah, exactly. How long, when you start watching one, how long does it take to be like, oh, no, this is not one I should be watching?
We normally look up the IDMB for
IMDb?
or whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
The Parents Guide
Yeah.
before we watch one.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. That's a good call.
so that we know that we're not watching
Okay.
junk.
And
Complete junk.
you can trust that
Yeah,
source.
I mean it's a they're pretty accurate.
Got it.
I mean, so
Yeah. Okay.
and
I
sometimes
just
they're a little. If anything, I would say that sometimes they're a little
Protective?
overprotective.
Okay.
So
I can mute you if you want me to do
I
it.
was just trying to turn her away from the mic so it doesn't like coughing right.
It's going to get you anyway.
Yeah.
All right, anything else that the listener or watcher needs to know about Anime. Any other misnomers? Any other misunderstandings?
I think a lot of times like people think anime is for kids.
I mean, that's my whole point. That's what I wanted to say. Is
But it's
like,
got a lot of depth, and I think there's a lot of levels to it. Like, I think it's funny because like we were talking about a kids show recently. Me and Josh Rickard
okay,
talking about kids show.
Okay.
Recently, Bluey,
yeah,
and how it has depth. Because there's like a lot of things in it that he's it's got depth for a kids show.
depth for a kids show.
But
Okay, I mean they all do in an element. So
then you look at anime, and it's like, well, this you have to think about anime as the target audience isn't kids.
it's
not
adults.
little kids. It's adults, and it's or teenage to adults. So it's not meant for little kids. Sorry. So
It's all good. You got something going on.
yeah.
All right. So nothing else I need to know.
You have
All
any
right.
questions about it?
No, I
Are you
just
gonna start watching?
honestly.
I think you
No.
should start One Piece.
Wait, I had to look at my list. Isn't
That was
that
the pirate one.
That was see. Now you said pirate in space.
Oh, Cowboy. I think Cowboy Bebop.
That too. I'm like I can maybe. I just
It's
don't
a
have.
very short one.
Honestly, I just don't have time. Wait, you mean short as in it didn't last very long?
Yeah, it's like 20 episodes. Something like
But
that.
20 episodes. Look, I can barely keep
I think
up with
it
like
might be
Loki
12.
right now. I get like
12.
that's still.
The difference is that you're
Are
talking
they
about
an
12,
hour?
You're talking about 12 20-minute episodes.
Oh, 20 minutes. That's completely different.
Yeah, I'm talking like 20-minute episodes on all these.
Can you
most part.
listen can you just listen to an episode, or do you have to watch an episode of
should
anime?
watch it.
Because you need to see
You
things.
need to see things.
It's not just the conversation language. It's just not with the audio part of it. Like you need to
you
see.
need to see what's happening.
Okay. And it makes sense. Like it all adds up and makes sense, and you like connect with all it. Is there any one of them that's like uber Asian culture, Japanese culture, where you're like, I don't think I got that. I don't think I understood the statement behind
There have
that.
been references sometimes in episodes or references in shows that I'm like, I don't get that.
Okay, so, and I think that was one of my things was like, because I'm assuming because it is known as Japanese or what I call Asian culture, I'm assuming that there's going to be like a lot of stuff that just goes over my head and I don't really get it because I'm not in that culture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not into that culture to begin with. I mean, so I'm like, oh, well, if I'm going to miss all kinds of stuff, then why watch it?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's that many references, but there are some like in certain things. But like I think most of the references they use are like, I think there was one that they got referenced Godzilla.
Well, we all know who Godzilla is.
Godzilla
I mean,
references.
who doesn't know Godzilla?
Like different things like that you would from probably like that are mainstream media,
Yeah.
but have a Japanese origin.
All right, I'm going to ask you about an old school cartoon that I feel like was anime.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of the cartoon called Speed Racer?
Yes, it is.
I know that it started. I mean, I know that it is a Japanese or it's an Asian culture cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it came to America, but that was anime, and that's from like the 70s.
Yeah, it's been going along
Long time ago. Yeah, it's been
I
around
was
for a long
thinking
time.
about The Adventures of Johnny. What is it? Johnny Quest.
Yeah, great cartoon.
Just talking about cartoons. I
Yeah.
was thinking about that the other day. Actually, I made my wife watch a movie with me the other day from my childhood.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll remember this. You might. It was not a big movie, but it was called The Warriors of Virtue.
No, don't even remember it at all.
It was very just wild. But the main premise of the movie was that this kid with a bad leg, he has a brace on his leg. He is trying to fit in, and he gets sucked into this vortex and winds up in a different land.
Okay.
And in the land, there are these warriors of virtue that are supposed to defend the peace, but they're kangaroos. They're kung fu kangaroos, and it was
Kung Fu kangaroos.
Kung Fu kangaroos, and they like all talk and stuff, and it was wild. And it like hit me the other day that I was like, "What is that movie?" Like I had this like, and I was like, what is that movie? I need to watch that. And so I found it.
Okay. How was it as an adult?
It's so cheesy and so funny, but I was like loving it.
Yeah.
My wife was like, what is going on?
Did she like it at all? Did she fall asleep?
No, she loved it.
Okay.
She loved it.
All
She
right.
thought it was so funny, but it was like, it's just one of those like movies that you're like, you watch it like 20 years later and you're like, this is so cheesy,
Yeah.
but it's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Kangaroos, huh?
Yeah, Kung Fu Kangaroos.
All right. Kung Fu Kangaroos. I mean,
And I looked at her. This is how I sold her to
Yeah.
watching this movie. I said, we're going to watch a movie. She said, okay. 'Cause she's like, I'm about watching a movie with you. I said, I'm going to tell you 2 words to sell you on this. Kung Fu Kangaroos.
isn't that 3? Technically.
Kangaroo is one
Kung
word.
Fu.
There's a hyphen.
Yeah. So it's counted as one word,
One
isn't it?
word. Yeah.
Okay.
Kung
You
Fu.
can't just have Kung without the Fu.
Kung Fu Kangaroos.
And she was in.
And she was like, what? And I was like, intrigued? Intrigued, aren't you? And she's
He's
like,
like, I'm in. I'm down. Let's go.
she's like, okay. And like, so we started watching it and get into it. She's like, and then when the kangaroos show up, she's like, I hate their faces because they're kind of it's weird how their faces look. And I was like, this is like cutting edge 90s.
I was gonna say, is that because the CGI just wasn't that great back then?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was CGI. It might have been costumes.
Oh, that's terrible.
So-
Okay, all right. Well, all that to say, I don't know anything about anime, but now I know a little bit more than I did when we started.
And you're gonna start watching.
I'm not
Cowboy
gonna.
Bebop.
I'm not gonna say that I won't try. You know, I am curious about those two.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
And,
I the space and the pirate thing. I do like.
Space
Who
ones are
doesn't
cool.
like pirates, man?
Yeah, space ones are cool. Space pirates, even cooler.
Okay, all right. Well, any last things before we're out?
No, have a good week.
All right, appreciate you. We're out.